But yeah, Sugar, you said just now you're waiting for Tyson's potential opponent to sign the contract. I know you don't like to get too involved in that side of things, but what can you tell us about? Are you on standby? Are you waiting to hear what's going on?
All of that, everything you said. No, I'm not on standby. I should be going over there March the 6th. I've got a cousin named Gordy Russ. He's fighting here in Detroit. March the 5th. He's a junior middleweight, 3-0. And he just fought at the end of January. And now he's fighting again before I go over to work with Tyson for his up and coming bout.
And is that projected to be at the end of April, beginning of May?
Well, you've heard the projections probably more than me. Listen, Tyson won't even call me and tell me dates and stuff because I don't want to hear it. It's like, tell me when something is for real. And that's it. Other than that, we just talk about regular stuff. We don't talk about boxing all the time, So he had a family vacation. We talked about that. Just different stuff. He's talking about how I'm a real G, we talked about that. That's good. And, just different stuff. So, yeah, whatever the date is clearly not in my hands or his hands. So it's something that I don't want to worry about. That's why I like to stay looking young and handsome, keep away the stress. So, it's not my job. My job is to train Tyson to win, to knock anybody out. That's my job.
Well, he told me a couple of days ago that he does expect it to be Dillian Whyte next. I can say that. He told me on Instagram, but I can prove it if anyone needs me to. If it is Dillian Whyte, as it seems likely, what sort of challenge does that pose for you as a trainer? What do you make of him?
The challenge it poses for me is to, try to make it as fast as possible.
What do you make of Dillian Whyte? And I'm going to ask Christian the same question in a moment.
Dillian Whyte is a veteran, a seasoned fighter. He's been around boxing and in boxing. He's been really at the top, of boxing for a while, but just never ever, cross that line to even be up one of the big names. So this is a great opportunity for him to, and I believe he's very well motivated. He's been waiting around for quite some time and have been through such, legal procedures to get to this point. And everything that needed to be done, he's done it to get to this point. So I feel this is a hungry fighter, and those two guys, they know each other obviously from growing up and boxing together in camps and being together, boxing each other and stuff like that. So, it's almost reminds me of the amateur days when, you got, maybe the guy that stays maybe around the corner from you boxing for a different team. I mean, you guys are best friends, but you got to end up fighting each other, So that's just boxing, the guys can get there and fight each other and still be able to be, sociable and friends after that. Some of the great trilogies like Alexis Arguello and Aaron Pryor, those Arturo Gatti and Ward, those guys became, great friends because of those battles and rivalries. So yeah, it's not always just, I hate you. It's business, and each guy wants to win and be competitive. So I think Dillian Whyte is going to be very competitive with Tyson Fury, even though Tyson Fury learned a lot of new things, and he's eager to use those things out there against anybody in the world.
What do you think, Christian? Do you think Dillian Whyte will prove very competitive with Fury?
Yeah, well, for sure. I actually like Dillian a lot. I think he's, like Sugar said, he's a very talented and, he's a veteran in the game. I mean, what hasn't he done pretty much? I mean, he's done everything apart from really, stepping to that stardom kind of boxing line or whatever. So he'll be very competitive. He's very hungry. By the way, he's a very tough man as well. He's very strong. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. I really am.
How do you assess it as a kind of style matchup? Because, Tyson's coming off those fights with Deontay Wilder, a puncher, kind of unorthodox at times, can be patient, but probably isn't as patient as he should be. Dillian Whyte, not really known as a one-punch knockout artist, definitely carries power. More of a brawler, I guess you would say. How do you assess that as a style matchup with what Tyson has?
Sure.
Is that for me or for Christian?
Well, both. I was going to start with Christian, but I think he's deferring.
I was thinking that Dillian Whyte is in ways similar to Derek Chisora. in a
In
sense.
some
like
ways,
just a
certainly.
brother, you know, so, you know, Tyson, we have the option to box or to box and mix it up. Is my preference is to box but mix it up at the same time. It's not just to be a banger, but just do whatever is necessary in the fight. Because yeah, Dillian Whyte is not he's not afraid of anybody. He's very tough, very competitive, believes in himself, and you know, that poses a problem with anybody, whether it's Tyson Fury or whoever. I mean, so it's going to always be a problem with a man determined like that. And speaking of determined as Tyson Fury is. So, but Tyson looks forward to those kind of challenges. I look forward to them myself. You know, it makes me have to train him better and a lot sharper to create new things to go into that fight, so we can have a spectacular knockout, and everybody's talking about it again. And
Christian, what do you think?
Yes, well, I remember Dillian Whyte fighting. I mean, I've been watching him since his early days, fighting at York Hall and Bethnal Green and all that. And I remember there was a stage when he looked really, really just like, well, somewhat green, but still very strong. And then suddenly some big improvement came. The big improvement came under Mark Tibbs, I remember, already probably, 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8, maybe, I don't know, but years already ago. And, you know, since then, he's always been just a great fighter and just, you know, powerful man. He's always performed well. I mean, he said the fight with Marius Wachman maybe was a bit heavy and a bit sluggish perhaps, but this was also due to, I believe, many of, you know, his frustrating circumstances with titles and whatnot. So, you know, you can somewhat understand that. But recently he's avenged his defeat to Povetkin. His somewhat freak defeat to Povetkin. Not to discredit Povetkin, because it was still a picture perfect shot, but you know, he's headed down here and there, so I think he just got caught with something. And yeah, I mean, look, I think Tyson is too much for anybody right now. You know, he's really developed now from being, you know, a mover and puncher, and he was like flicking his jab, to now really he's learned and mastered what I'm trying to learn now with Sugar, and I understand first-handedly how effective that is. And if he does probably 90% of what he's supposed to do, he's going to win this fight in spectacular fashion. On the other hand, it's heavyweight, you know, he should definitely just be, yeah, watch out and be careful. But I think he's got definitely all the tools to, you know, do well. He's the champion. He's number one. I think we can all agree on it.
Stay focused, man. You be losing it. You're looking over there. There's nothing even over there.
It's because I'm not throwing punches. He doesn't need to stay focused. It's all right. Sugar, with that in mind, what Christian just said, do you kind of view Christian as a potential successor to Tyson Fury? He's certainly got similar dimensions and someone who could dominate the heavyweight division.
I do see that as a great possibility. He's learning right now. At some point, things will just click. Like right now, he's learning how to understand and comprehend the basics of boxing. So then he can be able to use that and be creative in his own mind to make things happen differently and more frequently. And that's pretty much all there is, really. I mean, he spent some time boxing with Tyson here in Florida. I think they did about like maybe 8 rounds or something. I mean, but it was just like they were just going body, they were just going toe to toe, like nobody's backing up and just punching. So he learned a lot from that. And I saw at that time, me and Tyson were like, man, like he didn't back down. He got caught with some good body shots, and you would see him take a step back, but then he would just come right back forward again. So I mean, that's something you can't teach. And sometimes you want to be able to control those kind of emotions like that, because you have to come up with a different plan. So if Christian is just coming up with a different plan instead of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to grind it out and be tough. It's not about being tough all the time. It's about being intelligent, being an intelligent fighter. So as tough as Tyson is, he's always going to be intelligent and being able to change up and do different things, but still have that same toughness.
Great stuff. Guys, really, really appreciate your time. I know you're busy, so I'll let you get back to it, but great to catch up, Christian. And you, of course, Sugar, I'll see you when you come over. And Christian, we'll catch up again on Zoom, as you're not able to come here just yet.
Yeah, thank you, Danny.
He can't Zoom unless I'm in the video Zooming.
All right.
Yeah, total control.
Yeah, I can tell.
Thank you, Danny.
Take care, guys. Thank you.